every person has to have a dream in order to start something really worthwhile. And then the next is the commitment. If you have a dream, fine, but also you need to bring in commitment. And it's not commitment from with yourself, commitment from the surroundings that you need to take. For example, if you are planning to, like myself, I didn't plan it. It was an accident that I had to borrow money from my father-in-law. But if it is in your planning that you would seek some investment, seed investment, from what we say in Silicon Valley is angel investors. We don't have many of angel investors here. So in our society, we find angels around ourselves in shape of our immediate relatives, fathers, brothers, mothers, and sometimes there are savings with those people, and they would be more willing to give it to you if they trust you, or if you are able to convince them that you are committed and this would not go waste. People will invest in you. So commit to yourself and get commitment from others if you can, that if I do start doing something like this, would you support me? Even commitment from your existing customers. If you are working somewhere and if you have developed personal relationship with some of the customers who trust your capabilities, and if you want to spin off and start your business, as many people have done over the 10, 15 years in Infotech. I mean, there are over a dozen people that left Infotech and started their own business. They went to same customers, which were our customers, which is fine. It happens. So we have the ability to find more customers. But it's your personal trust and commitment with the people. So you need to surround this commitment things 360 degree from your investors, from your customers, from your family even, that they would support you before embarking on the ventures like this. Then comes the resources. That you need to have resources. If not, then you need to worry about that. Where are you going to get those resources? For example, I had calculated that with 60,000 rupees I would be able to make it happen, but it didn't happen. So I fell short of resources. And since I had commitment from within my family, so they supported me. So that is kind of correlation of all these building blocks of the ingredients. Then you have to have a plan, solid plan. If you are copying somebody, there is a high probability that you are not copying, because you cannot copy 100%. You don't know what is inside the minds of the other people and what are they up to. So you need to have your own plans, have it vetted by your peers, by whosoever you trust. Talk to your closely known, trusted people that you believe that they will give you best advice. If you show them your plans, they would not. If they have to be critic of that, they would give you good advice and they would say no or whatever. But you need to have a solid plan and have it shared with the people around you. And then lastly, you need to define your goals and aspirations. Without that, you cannot really take a start, or even if you take a start, there is a high probability that you will be lost on the way, because if you don't have a goal where you want to go, what are your aspirations? What is going to be your speed to grow? And how would you like to identify yourself as a business entity or an entrepreneur? Without goals and aspirations, you can probably be misled and can incur some damage to your own credibility, and you might lose your capital if you don't have aspirations. That is, I'll keep this thing in front of us so that I'm able to relate to every question to one of these 5 building blocks that we have.
Then we go back to that slide where the comparison between India and Pakistan was given with respect to headcounts.
Okay.
And with the growth one.
This one or previous?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
We are talking about this yield per head count. I'm at that row. So we're saying like $8,000 per head count for India and $10,000 per head count for Pakistan.
Yeah.
So
that is annual. Actually, I'm sorry if I missed out that. That is the yield is a word known in international industry where the revenue per head count that is charged to customers outside Pakistan or domestic, whatever. So the yield per head count, annual yield of per head count in Pakistan is higher than India. That is $25,000, primarily because we are into high value space. We don't have a huge BPO operation where the yield per head count is far less. It's around between 15,000 to 18,000. And if you add software development and consulting and all that, the average comes out to be, Pakistan's average comes out to be around $30,000. Like for example, if I have 100 people working on global projects, we should have $3 million revenue. So that is the statistics, which is going statistics in this region.
Another positive thing we can take out of it is like what I might think maybe we are more capable of technically more sound as compared to India, like the graduates we produce or the like technology, like their IQ and their skill sets are a little bit higher from India. Can I take this point like this as well?
Yes, pretty much so. I'm confident and I can very boldly say that that is the case because I was not that sure of myself until I experienced that we have recently started competing with Tata Consulting, with Wipro, with Satyam, and some of the international projects. And to my surprise, the quality of people, I mean, starting from the quality of proposal that we build is way superior. Then the quality of our people who go and present the solution, I mean, through the evaluation stage, far superior. They are probably more in numbers, so they have an impact which we do not have because of our smaller size. I'll give you an example. The quality and all that. This e-Ghana project that I was referring to in Ghana was a World Bank funded project. We secured highest technical, and the World Bank has a very stringent procedure of evaluation. 70% points are technical and 30% are financial, something like that. So we secured the highest technical marks in the evaluation. And financially, we were also way higher than that company, Tata Consulting. Their bid was $52 million. Our bid was $62 million. But we were better in quality. So World Bank actually awarded us that project. And the day that project was awarded to us, the Indian ambassador was sitting with the president of Ghana trying to, with a written complaint that it should be reevaluated, there is something wrong and there is this and that and all that. And then the president called finance minister and finance minister called the project director. and it was again sent back to World Bank for re-evaluation. And fortunately or unfortunately, there was the head of GCIT in World Bank was also an Indian. He had to send it out to a neutral evaluator again. And again the result was the same, that company or that individual consultant again pointed out that this is the solution that fits the requirement of the government and they should go for that. And that was not the first time, and there are many cases like this, that at a higher value we are securing projects competing with these giant companies of India's 20,000, 40,000 people companies. The quality of our people is way behind. I don't know about the determination, and I don't know about the support that we get from our government, from our diplomatic channels and all that. That was one example. I'll narrate you another example. How our diplomats support us actually. It was 2007 or 8. There was a global project in Iraq. Baghdad Stock Exchange, they wanted to automate, so they gone through a process of expression of interest, and they finally selected 2 companies. One was OMX, now owned by Nasdaq. Now it's called OMX Nasdaq. They are the leader in the exchange technology. And here is Infotech from Pakistan. So we were there. They asked for moon and everything on the earth that they wanted to have in that system, without realizing that how much it will cost them. Anyhow, Nasdaq was about $30 million. We were at about $22 million. Then they started cutting their requirements and all that. 1 year of going back and forth, meetings, presentations, this and that. I was almost there every second month in Baghdad to talk to customer, and we were determined to get that project at whatever cost. So after negotiation, OMX came to about $10 million, and we were around $7 million, because we wanted to have that. Strategically, we wanted to have that contract. So one day I thought of seeking support from Pakistan ambassador. So here I called the Pakistan embassy and showed my desire to meet the ambassador. And the gentleman said, well, yeah, you can check tomorrow morning. It was about 1:30 during the day. I mean, it was lunchtime, I had time, so I said, why not today? Said that he has gone for the day. 1 o'clock. He comes at 11 and goes at 1 o'clock. So that's the only window that you have. So fine. Next day I went there. He was kind enough to call me. I think not many Pakistani businesses were keen to do business in Syria. So asked for tea, coffee and all that. It took me about half an hour to explain him as to what IT is and what we are doing. And then he said, oh, but that IT where India is way ahead of us. I said, yes. How can you help me influence this customer if you have a new connection? How do these people work? Can you leverage your relationship with any of their minister, either in finance or their chamber of commerce? Here is what our learned ambassador says. He says, are you from Lahore? I said, yeah. Punjabi is Galika. चलिए पंजाबी कर लो मैं तो तुहानू मशवरा देंगा इन्हां दे नाल काम ही ना करो बड़े चोर ने साडे वाले This is ambassador actually supporting me. There was another ambassador at the day of award. That ambassador was sitting with the president of Ghana to influence the decision in their favor. So I had that cup of tea and came back. And never ever tried any ambassador again. It's a shame. There are some people who try to actually help you, but I don't know why can't they just go beyond certain level. Whereas Singapore government actually ask us that if there is any deal which is over $5 million and if it is being signed by Infotech Global in Singapore, they are willing to fly a senior minister with us to influence the customer. That's the level of support that the governments are actually extending to their businesses in order to encourage and grow them. But nevertheless, it's not to scare you off. It is just, I'm telling you so that when you go and plan, you should not factor these things out here. So you and me, we are at our own, barring few people who come for a few years like Naseer, I don't know, who come from industry.